Okay, today is the March 1st, 2024. I want to designate these few minutes or few seconds since we were really excited about the meeting, gathering together as a great feminine. And really have a beautiful closure that we have the year of the yin water rabbit. So last year was a definitely very special year for all of us, individually as well as as a worldwide aspect. And it was related to purging, releasing and purging into the really deep levels. When we talk about, or when we're looking forward to the year, like new beginnings, we have to understand nothing really ends and nothing really begins. We just kind of plug into the time and we plug out. We are the expression of time. We are expression of time in the sense of as we come to this earth, we come with the special things to do. And these are the charts that you're holding. Those who have had Ziva Doshu astrology readings with me, with your natal capacity, just remember, you already have lived the experience from A to Z in the mother's womb. You have karmically experienced every single second of your life as you were conceived and lived within your mother's womb. Coming out of the mother's womb that's the time when you actually replaying something that you've already done. Mm-hmm. And only thing is different, you're modifying along the way. You're adding your ego, you're adding sometimes the things that you add to it. Sometimes you make not the right decisions, or right decisions that you look back to the future, or look back to the future and look back to the past, and connecting those dots from the present to the past, and you're thinking that, oh, this is why things happen, because if they happen. I want to share this because every single time when I'm experiencing readings, I want you to know this is something that's not a fortune-telling base. Chinese astrology is not a fortune-telling. I hope you understand that. We do have overwhelming information, abundance of information coming at us on a daily basis. Now with the social media, with the phones, and everybody Facebooks and Instagram, TikToks, you name it, right? So this is an overwhelming aspect of exposure. And we're forgetting, who are we? These past 10 days have been extremely productive for me, physically, energetically, and spiritually. I just came back last night from the seminar in Irvine, working and studying with Sikhu Alan Johnson, and it's been like year 5. And we could not believe, as the undergoer of the group, that we came out with the studies that we have been already 4.5 years with Sifu on this journey. And what's more important by revealing these through these studies was how much we have changed. What was interesting to recover was when we are beginners, is the way you receive your initial chart. It's just the beginning to look at it. And probably your way interacting at first with me at the point of meeting was something that's very maybe shallow, as your ego pleasers were saying, oh, will I have a right job? Will I have more money? Will I going to be in good health? Will I going to have kids? You name it. The primarily goal of the chart reading in general is to understand, who are you? you are giving these qualities that is expressed through your year, the month, the day, and hour. This is your DNA. It's just that Chinese astrology is one other way to find out how you can understand yourself better, how you accept yourself better. This is what's really, really important, because when we reveal our capacity internally, and when we understand that we are not depleted, that we are in full capacity, then everything else around those 12 houses that you see in the chart, they start fulfilling and becoming very dynamic. This becomes your life purpose. This becomes your life kind of, this is where I am right now. How many of you experiencing Chinese astrology for the first time in this group? Okay. So you fill in all the gaps after this talk. Not being mean, okay? So yeah, I just want to share that because the astrology, maybe what we have from the layman, kind of, on the streets, or which we read on the internet, is definitely suspicious. And sometimes, you pick up some kind of, oh, that's exactly about me. Maybe that is a divine order, divine information that you needed to hear at that very moment, okay? I believe that after being initiated as a priestess, that was like 3 years ago, it also pivoted the aspect of how do I look at the chart? How do I look at the person? Because doesn't come from my subjective viewpoint. Who are you? It really becomes more like a true divine kind of download, where in a dialogue form we discuss, what is next? Where is your path taking you? And I really hope you take this to heart, because that's the one way to kind of find the guidance. And each of us have the talent and support each other finding the guidance. So today, I hope this is like a music to your ears. Don't try to create any attachment to what I say. It is going to be recorded, and I'll be happy to share the audio recording. I have no notes. I just have this. Same slideshow, but it always comes with the kind of the information what this group is ready for. And I think that's what makes these meetings or these gatherings for us very special. Welcome. Do you have a chair? Do you have a seat?
I'm fine. Actually, stay out of your friends. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, on this happy note, I hope it was happy note. You know how to find me? Right. So, yin and yang, fire elements, that's all the same. We're going to talk about the qualities of the year of a dragon. What does that mean to experience the chi quality of the yang wood dragon? It's important because it's like thinking about, we have this beautiful buffet, right? And you have your own characteristics. And then when you come to this buffet, there's something you can digest and something you can't digest. Mm-hmm. So instead of to eat and get sick, you maybe say, not today. So some of you, quite a few of you, will be saying, you know what? Not this year. And that's okay. Because we are in a transitional aspect of things. Why am I doing this? Today is a very special meeting as well. That something with the Chinese astrology I learned from Liu Ming. And that is the year of 2012. That's my photo when I took from his presentation. I was so happy to find that photo. He's no longer with us. He passed away in 2015. But during this year, he just came back from pilgrimage that he did in Bhutan and India, I believe, and Tibet. And that is also when he met one of the guides who was at the time a Bhutanese Bhutanese monk that was studying at the Golden Temple in India. His name is Sanjay. And during that trip, Sanjay and Ming really had a really, really deep, like a father-son connection. When Ming passed away, and also during the classes, I usually kind of contributed and always helped, like whatever time with the Western Union, he was sending money on a monthly basis to him. I was also kind of contributing, not much, but whatever I have at that time, it was just genuinely wanted to assist. After his passing, Sanjay did not have anybody, even though the Dayan Circle was supposed to respond, but it was not. So I had very, very kind of intimate connection with him because he also was going through silent retreat, which is to graduate. I guess there's certain those who maybe know more about Buddhism. There's some ritualistics when you graduate. You go in a silent retreat. You set up your cave. You set up your sitting, and you are in this setting. And he went through some health issues and some different issues. But I was the only one, kind of secretly, I was continuously supporting him. And one of the messages when he came out of the silent retreat, I shared with him that during my conversations with Liu Ming, I said he always said to overcome his health, he should return back to his native land. He should go back to Bhutan. And he did. So I shared that with him. He graduated, he kind of overcome, and he went back. He said, okay, sister, he calls me sister, so I have a brother. It's like, I will. And he did. And that year, when he went back, in less than a year, he fell in, basically there was a romantic connection. He fell in love, and the daughter, and the woman who he marries is one of the Lama's daughter. So these two pure, innocent people. Also, she conceives the baby, and 2 years ago, she gave a birth. We called her Ming Ming. Also, kind of going back to some of the memories, the Ming used to joke or used to say, you better go back to Bhutan, and then I can come back as your son. So everything comes to the full circle. When I received Ming Ming's photos and videos and on a messenger on a Facebook, and this is a 1.5-year-old, a 2-year-old, and he knows how to respect the Tanka and Buddha books and kind of naturally if there is a sacred book on the rose, he puts right away on his picks up from the rose and right away puts on his forehead. It's just such an authentic sign, just natural sign that there is the belief to reincarnation. And I think it just gives me a personal kind of continuous advantage. So a few years ago, during 2019, I also tapped into a little bigger project because, so this particular reading and all this past month, I have met and matched every single dollar from every single consultation that I have done. The idea is there's the Little Monks project that you've seen on my website. In 2019 was to finish the main building of the school. This is orphanage school up there where at that time was 17 little monks from age 6 to I believe 17, and then the 3 main lamas, the teachers. Now the school has grown to 21 children, and then I think the 4 of the monks that's kind of overseeing. And this year they requested and asked us to assist with the finishing to building their kitchen, outdoor kitchen that they really need. And I have a video when we have a time can show you that my assistant put together and they shared them. So I already contributed my first part of it, and I'm continuously doing this till at least the month of the dragon, and all your contributions, all your tickets to some extent, or all your consultations, if you consider, whether or not it's going to be directly sent to them in a collective pool. What do you get for that? Nothing is free, right? So if you write your names on the one, sheet of paper, whoever is here. And we can have also a group picture. I would love to have a group picture that I can share. And they pray for each of us. They announce each name, what's on the list. And there's thousands of offerings that goes, and your name is cited, and your name is treasured, because they cannot believe that, I guess, people from so far away could be so authentically kind of connected. So it just makes me cry. I'm sorry. But that's the Ming's legacy. Why I'm telling this? This is a year of a dragon. The year of the dragon. I know we have talked about, go big or go home is one of the mottos of today's, of this year's. But year of the dragon quality do not profoundly succeed if you are not at service to others. The primarily kind of energetical component, no matter what you do this year, is to invest the way that is at service to others. That gains the power of the great leader. And a dragon is emperor in the metaphysics. And there's wonderful ways of looking at this powerful sign, this very mystic sign that has these components of so many. How many dragons do I have here? Like, do you have dragon in any of the parts of your chart?
Yes.
Yeah. So I have it in my month, and it's good.
I have a daughter with a dragon.
Yeah.
That's my dragon.
Yeah, right. Gonna train her well. So this is why we are here, and this is why I'm very grateful to Mary, and I'm very grateful to each of you for being here, showing up, and being part of it, and learning and expanding also your own capacity as being your own mini emperors of your own household, within yourselves, as well as within your communities, your families. So that's important. These are the Sifu Johnson. This I just got back. Howard Choi is also my continuous. And this is when I was pregnant with Aviana. I'm 9 months plus, and so this is the day before my due date, and then I hold it back because it was not good feng shui day. But then I did. I swear I did. I did plan my daughter's birth hour. And that was profound experience, because if I'm doing what I'm doing, I really wanted, as a mother, just like, I want to do my best. And the day of the June 16th, the due date was the June 7th. That's when I graduated from but June 16th when she was born, and I was still on the June 16th in the morning, was walking down the Los Gatos getting my next day outfit to get out of the hospital. And then it's like the lady could not believe it when I got just okay, that's good enough. And then it's like, okay, I need to be at the hospital at 3 to give birth between 3 and 6. Women power. So you can do that. Why I'm saying these things again? Because it's a year of a dragon. You can believe to magic. You can believe to something that you probably allow your mind and heart to open up to it, because you can. Imagination leads the mind. Mind creates chi, creates energy. And when you have energy, the thousands, 10,000 things could be manifested and available to you. Last year, do you recognize the water rabbit? Did you do the job? Did you do your work with yourself? Did you purge? And that was a purge that was required, not only purge for 1 year aspect, but was purged for 20. Okay? It does relate to feng shui, because this particular year we also started a new cycle, new 20-year cycle. It's a period 9, where power of women, because the trigram Li, it's 9, number 9, it's in the south. Trigram Li is a middle daughter, or women, not too young, not too old, just that has the capacity to hold the wisdom holders that still are capable to do things with wisdom. When we grow too old, we become forgettable, not as mobile, then we can only rely on the grandkids and great-grandkids. But because this decade, the next 20 years, is really profound based, who are we as a feminine, as a wisdom holders, in a absolutely like expected in a new dimension, in a new set of level, that it needs to be imprinted in the Mother Earth for us all as a humanity to thrive. Men are kind of going crazy. All the wars, all the, what things happened already started in 2019. But truly, if you go back, way back to Olympics in London, those who, if you find YouTube, please watch that. The opening ceremony of the Olympics, where all the things regarding the COVID and was pre-printed to the worldwide. And you will find associations that I could not, and I still remember that I was watching. Why is this? Is the, Olympic opening? It was already predisposition of arranged pandemic, to spread into mentally, or maybe, to influence in humanity, to influence us. It was fear-based influence. Okay? So, Year of a Rabbit this last year gave you this really wonderful way to purge that, to release, to basically write it out. If you at any point, emotional purge, physical purge, energetical purge, and it's releasing things from the memories, releasing things that you own and have a hard time letting go, what organizer gives. Remember, anything that we hold on to, it makes our being heavy. My personal purge was last year. I could not believe it. If you would ask me, really, you moved? I was like, it happened right after my daughter's birthday, the June 16th. She turned 11, and July 3rd, I was on a plane to Europe. And my house, after 22 years living in Los Gatos, honestly, it just dissipated. It's down to 10 by 10 storage, where half is the boxes of taxes and some kind of, treasure things that, debating, shall I bring it to Italy or not, okay? So that experience in itself, when I, as a practitioner, were going through, was so timely that I was blessed. I was blessed by this opportunity because it's timely and it was appropriate to the year to really enhance the few, new beginnings. When we correlate to your astrology charts, I don't read my chart. I only peek. I wanted to see where I'm in my 10-year decade. You've known it how we've done, as you say. I look where you are in your life. And last year was a pivotal point when I was closing one decade and opening new. Then I knew I don't have to read it even more, that it is timely. It is timely to purge, to move. And I think that's why when you go with the momentum, it's also things happen, things take place. So be observant. Be observant to your own being. This year, for certain qualities, and I will address in more individual based, but if you have a character like a goat or a sheep, if you have a character in your chart as tiger, if you have a character of ox, okay? And partially also dog, but not so much. But those three and a rabbit, maybe also partially rabbit, because you ruled the year of 2023 and you are now in a new transition. The energetical pattern is almost like this is not your style buffet, okay?
This is
Not the buffet, that's not the food, not the energetical, like you almost like either you say no, thank you, not today, or not this year. Take it easy or go more inwards, or it's basically taking a nap or relaxing or not being so, and it's again, it depends where in the chart your animal is. And again, this is by association. And especially if you're already depleted, if you already ran down, if you already have had a big year behind you, then it's okay to kind of take a rest. Okay, so we'll talk more in detail. But the traditionally the year of a rabbit was also about because it's so ferocious in the sense of like creating babies, making babies. It's very fertile in a sense, but we can also associate to the ideas. It was more like self-reflecting, writing it down. Oh, maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that. So it just gives birth to a lot of possibilities. It's almost like you are at the stage, like 2023 was at the stage to really create that. What else can I do? For me, it was very strong because I was conquering a new environment, new land, new space, new culture, and amazingly enough, by staying connected and appreciating, it's like I just love my work that I have here in not only in California, but in U.S. period. And I find this as a very interesting dynamic that I don't need to neglect my, by moving, I didn't expect to be closing. And that's the beauty of it. And it has created even more projects just in a larger scale. I was thinking who's watching me as these the balloons are moving. I was thinking somebody's all the time over the boundaries like a kind of leaning over. It's like, who is there? So the image of the rabbit was like something like lives on the moon, right? And it creates the immortal elixir, right? But it's also, think about it's like self-reflection. And how I personally relate to that is by purging and releasing emotional blockages and rejuvenating, right? It's like the immortality, of course we want a long life, but we also want it at ease. So when I think about what I have shed, even the last week, during the energy work with in our group setting, which is very, very profound, there's one of the meditations we were going through, and it was, if you maybe heard, it's the meditation, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? And usually it's done in a dialogue form, but it was so, so profound, because it lasted, I did not know for how long, because my partner was so, so rigid. Not let me off. He's like, okay, I'm done. No, you're not. Who are you? And I was just like, I have said every single possible mass that I can call out, to be honest. And then when I said, I am who I am, and that bursted me into tears. And that was a true kind of essence that when we carry as a feminine, when we carry our mask based on the work, based on the obligations that we had in a society, in an intimate setting, and you name it, right? These are just the masks, and that immortality is based when we shed these masks off. So the year of a rabbit, they gave you another kind of area to pivot yourself, self-reflecting. Who are you? If you have a chance to do this meditation, if you are interested, I might consider maybe that could be done on Zoom and one-on-one, because this is really, really becomes profound. And when we have a kind of maybe past experiences, like either childhood, teenage times, or when we're young ladies, or later in life, it's appropriate at any time. But if you do find partnership, it has to be a strong partner who can just actually you trust, that kind of pushes your buttons accordingly. But purging was, for me, that was most important part last year. If you next time you look at the full moon, that's what we always look from the Chinese metaphysics. That's the rabbit that creates the immortal dream. There's some indications about lucky days, etc. And today is the March. We're lucky enough, I'm here. So usually, so the year is going to end by February 10, January 29th, 25. And the feng shui period that we're starting right now starts 2024 till 44. Okay? When we talk about those who are familiar, I've used this slide before. In astrology, the same as Chinese medicine, and in all the other ways, we talk about yin and yang, and we talk about 5 elements. These are not the physical elements that we, tangible elements, but this is more like an expression of qi, of expression of energy, right? When I talk about the year of a dragon, the year of dragon, the inner element of the dragon is earth. In earth, it correlates to ancestral energy, something that has existed for a very long time. As a country, as a tradition, it's like, emperors ruling, there's always rules and settings, so that's the order that we have. But then you also add the element of wood chi. Wood chi is like new beginning, right? New beginning, it's like spring. It could be a little bit exhausting to the earth because we extract. But at the same time, if the earth, or if our capacity has been set in not exhausted, we have an opportunity really to plant the seed if we don't rush, to plant the seed, conquer, and really bring to fruition our intent. Your imagination, remember, imagination leads the mind, and mind creates chi. So, core adaptation by renewal, freshness, simplicity. Okay? This year, even it's grand in its appeal. Simplify. The simplicity already, I hope you did the homework. That's why the year of the rabbit was so important. And we are just in a continuum, the flow. We're not jumping from like a low rabbit to the high dragon. By size, they are not really different. When we use the kind of the icons of all the animals, there's not that there's a gigantic dragon and there's a like tiny rabbit or mice. All these characters are in a fairly identical capacity. They just comes with the image. The image creates the energy because what you are associating that with. Okay, everything in a chart reading as well is by association. How much you actually sometimes, if you give the chart to read to somebody who's just reading, 7 killings, and take that really literally, then guess what? Think spirit. So 2 elements to, and I'm probably going to go more in detail when we meet on March 10th on the Zoom. So you're going to have the slide and the PDF available. So don't worry. I'm very open with this information because you really can't repeat that. If anybody wants to use it, just to connect with me, happy to share. So this is how I experience the dragon chi, the wood dragon chi. It is about something that is magnificent. And like when I was in this Christmas, I was in Maui. And I ended up on the north side of the island. There's, if you ever go, there's beautiful labyrinth. It's called the Dragon Teeth, right? So you can walk the labyrinth. I think it's the 13 rings. For me, it was another emotional, pivotal moment because I did connect to my son. I was so surprised and so amazed. And it was such an initiation for me to understand that my oldest son was walking the labyrinth without me asking. He was already doing it. He's 20 now. conversations with him that night when the full moon, it was on the 26th of December, was so profound that I'm like, it was magical. It was another layer of revealing emotional qualities that we as a mother-son, have, which is unspoken. And that was what the Year of a Rabbit kind of facilitated for me personally. It was just there, and I was open to it. By not having this kind of predisposition and forgiving myself, forgiving him, there was such an openness of it that really truly prepared me for Year of a Dragon. That's in this connection, and I can do way more. I can share the information with him and also understand his spiritual journey. So again, initiation of something that was supposed to take place from the last year. I hope you had this experience as you journal, as you purge, as you write, as you're being open, because we are starting this 20-year decade in a completely different plateau. If we want to grow and develop, then this transition, and we are not too late. You have time till mid-April. And I will explain you why. Okay? There's some symbology that I relate, especially the evergreens. This particular evergreens, I picked some of these really, really long needles from the pine needles that when we associate, it's a north winds, the big waves, the dragon teeth, the labyrinth right there in the peaks, and it just splatters up that creates 100 rainbows during the first part of the day in the morning. Sun hits from the east. It's just think that that's all. Everything of those elements is the dragon energy. That's magical. Like today, I finished the consultation. I was coming from the Hakone Gardens, passing, and there's this edge of the clouds, the simmers the rain, and the huge rainbow. It's like, that's just all I need. It's just you need very little, but it was magical because it was kind of the divine was confirming, what am I doing? What am I advice I'm giving? There's the, compliance with it. So invite yourself, read the nature, be the nature. We are in it. We are part of it. That is important as well during the Year of a Dragon, because it's a wood earth chi. So what is yang within the yin or lesser yang? Initiations, birth, newness, renewal, adaptation by following your patterns, or following following something that you have experienced for a long, long time. Okay? That is where you kind of get to the heart of the dragon, because that's the earth. The earth chi is about tradition. It is about our ancestry. Otherwise, our country, the rules and regulations and the boundaries would not exist if there wouldn't be earth chi or something by rules. This is why when we have passports. Just think about this is the transition was related to your kind of showing that where are you in the passport. Organ liver. So liver, and I know we have some Chinese medicine doctors here, but liver is also, when his liver is exhausted, that's the anger. Releasing the anger, purging the anger is very important, okay? When we sometimes think about, people who, let's say, drink alcohol or have addictions, they deplete the liver, right? And that's also the anger, that's kind of resides the anger to it. There's other things for, as a dragon energy, it also correlates to gallbladder, correct? Mm-hmm. Right? And not to gain too much spiritually about it, but if we know about, if you heard about parasites, energy parasites or spiritual parasites, those actually, they hatch, so eggs are in the gallbladder, and then they travel to the liver. So purging is essential to your physical body, to your energy body, and to your spirit body. I think it's too much now. Everyone's like, so senses, body, muscles, connective tissue, fingernails, tears, sense eyes, seeing, right? You can improve. If you deplete it, you can also you could be affected your eyesight. This year is also more about not as much for um, illnesses, like infections and stuff. But it's more you have to be very conscientious about like injuries. Okay, so this is pace yourselves, especially until the mid-April. Explain you why the timing is important. Spring is like renewing, right? But think about it as a seed of the year. We just planted the seed, right? When the seed sprouts, it doesn't shoot up right away. It anchors itself, right? It goes down, turns around, and energetically only then it sprouts. As we speak right now, we already we planted the seed when the lunar year began, okay? Between the spring, that's usually spring festival. So give yourself this time until March, okay, end of March, before the month of the April, to go deeper. That's why I said you're not late. You still can manifest the work that you haven't done enough, maybe for from the last year, and it's okay because it's magical. You have the drive. If you have this information and your understanding, then your work, which you can do in the next 2 or 3 weeks, can be so magical that maybe what you missed last year in the 12 months you can accomplish within these 3 weeks. Okay? Take this as an opportunity. It's not about going out and shouting, now it's like, power. Of course, everybody in the kind of worldwide, I think, is over-exaggerating a little bit of the power. They have to, because it's awakening the emperor, awakening the symbology to it. But do you understand where this power really is associated with? Does any of you have any idea? The dragon and power. Anybody? One of the most important associations is the like this time of the year is when we observe what's happening in the mountains, when alpine snow start cracking and melting, alpine lakes, they're starting that kind of movement. When the water, what's happening in let's say even California, where we are concerned about the floods, right? This is a dragon awakening. But that water it's a heavenly water that brought through the rain, through the mist, right? Through the mountain top, through the snow that melts and gradually coming down. In Chinese folklore, metaphysics was important because through the rivers, it was also bringing the soil to the brink, to hard to plant. That was the source, to have a field, to plant and to harvest. When you think about it, that how important it is to have a soil to plant, to put your seed, that is powerful. That is a survival. That's magical. That's why here the dragon, when we correlate to agriculture and to the spring, has another kind of layer of understanding, not only what's in your chart, but also just overall how important it's just really to grow food, to have abundance, to have a very fertile soil. I just swear. So east is by direction. Wood element adds ambition, appetite to learn and gain knowledge. Anything new. Anything new is like, start new. Start new. Love more. Like, start new. Wisdom and power comes from simplicity and willingness to release and control. And I would add, and being at service to others. That's very, very important.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
When you were saying about March, like the month of March until the beginning of April, I didn't quite understand whether you were saying to take that time to not rush yourself, or not
so that's
to rest,
basically,
or to finish the projects that you had.
Finish the project. Finish the project.
Exactly.
So what I mean is if there's a project that they really did not work last year, and you're trying to go hard and push it, you might pushing it too hard in the wrong direction. Okay. The other thing is maybe to step back and look at the project from the outside, and then looking. What are your signs in your chart? What is the external? What's the year?
Here's pig.
Pig. Okay. For pigs, go big or go home. I'm serious. So for pigs, it's very, very important here. Okay. But what kind of capacity you're using to achieve that? It's important. Where you're putting your energy towards? It's important to understand, because maybe it's a time to purge and let go. Okay. Maybe you're holding on something that is actually not worth of your time, and magical pivot will take place in that, beginning of the April, mid-April. So month of the April, May, June, these are powerhouse. So make sure you're ready. Make sure you are kind of line up your ducks and get your tools ready. Get your mind, your physical body, your energy body, your spirit body ready to kind of project, to announce, to if it's appropriate. Look what is for you, if it's timely. That's for the Olympics. It's like if you have anyone wants to watch that, that's about 24 chinos. It's really, really nice way to associate the association, like how the seed plants itself and how it's flourished, right? That's why I brought it as a reminder. And then there's the evolution of the seed. This is when the year begins, and this is April. Okay? Be careful, don't snap, right? Because if you break, if you snap the thing, that there's harvest is done. There's no potential. Okay? So use this information as associating with what we have. Yeah, Penny.
Yeah, so I'm a goat, and you were saying, be very mellow this year. So what do goats do with that energy?
I will when I talk
Okay.
about each individual.
Okay.
I want to describe the energy that's available to all of us,
Okay.
because you not only goat, right? Your goat is where, in a year or in an hour?
I have 2 goats.
Yeah, but where are they?
I am goat month and year.
So that's external. So you just don't have to be loud and things. Do all the inner work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this all relates to that's just that those who haven't done or forgot about it. Remember, your year and your month represents how you allow yourself to be perceived to the outside world. How you kind of, we came here, we're very loud, and we really were very like a dragoness. I loved it, and that's appropriate. Okay, but the hour and the day is more like the day is what you do. Like this is how individually we're approaching this, looking for solutions, or how we individually addressing the outcome. Like what would you do? Hey, there's this like if the lights go out, somebody says, "Oh, I'm scared." Right? Somebody says like, "Oh, I have a candle." The dragon says like, "Oh, this is so awesome." The snake is like, romantic, because because one of the things that the dragon and snake has in common this year is the romance, right? So each animal could react, or the horse, if the lights would go out, what the horse would say. Let's I'm gonna go to the store, get the new bulb. Finding right away solution. Right. The monkeys was like, oh, what else can we do? Maybe we can take another thing. So there's each animal, each character. That's those who have already been with me for so many years will start understanding that it's about not who you are by looks, but it's like energetical potential, how you express yourself, or how you find a solution. And that comes from your day. The hour is what you feel, who you are at your heart. Heart is that let's say for dogs especially, you're very vulnerable. But you're not vulnerable because of the power of the dragon. You are vulnerable because you have a big leader, and you're concerned about the loyalty. Because anytime, how many dogs I have here?
I have to.
Oof. Come on, dog. Right. So you already know your boundaries, that if something like, if you have somebody as in a leading position and you get betrayed, you only takes once for the dog and that's end of the game. If you have a partners that are born in the year of a dog or hour of a dog, remember, they are vulnerable. Your word is everything. You better kind of release the bad news, but being honest versus kind of make it like really dramatic and no, it was not true. Da, 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 da. It's not going to work because dogs sniff things, 100 miles. So, going back, I love this image. Going back is like especially appropriate for us as a feminine coming together. Is we have given this earthly work as a wisdom holders for the next 20 years. We are gonna be in charge. Okay? How well we do, I think manifestation of feminine really gonna start in 3 years. So right now, it is expected to be a little bit under let the men finish their wars. They playing their games. They're competing in a very, they just kind of, they're outbursting. All these situations with the games, men entering the Olympics of the women team. You know what I'm talking about, right? This is just a lot. It's almost like thinking the men as a nation, they purge, right? That's why these battles, the young, it's just almost like they're turning it around and they're going after anything that is out there. There's like a lot, when you're sinking, you just you holding on the straws like sometimes in a stupidity to it. So as a wise women, we don't step into rule yet. Okay, we consolidate our strength as creating the enormous plateau network, supporting each other at all levels. That is the power. Serving each other. And I mean it. When women start competing, we replicating, what do we replicate? We replicate men. And men at the moment are at loss. Okay, those are like toddlers. What's happening in Europe, what's happening in the Russians, what's happening all over the place is just they're kind of the really, and we really individually as unique, we can only hold it and pray and strengthen our own demeanor. Okay, any word that we say is a vibration. It adds to the pool. If we criticize. Right now the elections come and stuff, right? If we criticize, we actually adding to that. It's not necessary. Remember this. This is important. What we say and what we say, do your diligence. Yeah, fulfill your beliefs. But don't tap into something that is like one way or the other. Be selective what you say. How we pronounce and what energy we add to overall flow is going to be profound, and we might sometimes bite our tongue because we said something in opposite. Yes.
Could you weave together for me the fire is the ruler of the next 20 years, and then with the feminine wisdom and
how does if you know the fire, the trigram Li. It's a middle daughter, right? So middle daughter is the when we think about the prenatal Bhagwan, that position is what? That position is Earth, Mother Earth, right? So when you take Mother Earth and you add feminine Li, so this is when the transition. I'll make sure. You stop me, okay? I want to address that. Those who have heard about prenatal Bhagwan and postnatal Bhagwan, I'm going to give you the answer. Why do we even looking at it? What is the difference? The prenatal Bhagwan is ideal case scenario. This is what happens in an ideal case of the in a setting of the world, right? The heaven is above, earth is below, fire, water, the 4 directions. The 3 lines when we take, this is the 3 young lines, earth chi, human chi, heaven chi, right? When the baby is in your mother's womb, right? What is the most important thing to thrive for the baby? Is a heartbeat, and heartbeat is based on what? Thriving on oxygen that comes from the mother's blood, right? So that is it's a prenatal predisposition. This is what you have in your charts. As you are in your mother's womb, you really relying on that predisposition, what your mother eats, what she does, how she works, how she behaves, how she sleeps, etc. And what she eats, that's what you dependent on it, and that comes through the blood. When we are born, when it pushes out, predisposition changes. This line changes to yin line. And that's how we start creating the shift in the Bhagwan. Because only human chi changes. Not the condition of the heaven or earth change, but human chi changes because we start breathing oxygen from the sky, and we start adjusting the gravity of the earth, and then we're doing our own show. And that's really, really deep. When we understand this shift, you will start understanding how deep is the philosophy of the, in a Chinese philosophy. Everything happens in that pivotal moment, from mother's womb to and then when you think about, you're born, you come out, but first thing you do, you exhale. And when you die, you leave this realm, you inhale. So again, how these nuances will allow you to also kind of think about, when we meditate, what are we really meditating? I hope you're all meditating, and I suggest open eye meditation and just observe. This is the powerful Wu Chi opportunity, because what you're doing during the observation, you only focus what is happening when your inhale ends and when your exhale begins, or vice versa. And that time in between is your present moment. That is that vast opening that allows you to actually surrender and experience your being home. Okay? So all these magical kind of nuances are available to you on a daily basis if you practice. And that's the feminine, because of the period 9 is associated to the trigram Li, and that's associated with the south. That's why it's also in the feng shui. I'll be happy when you join me on the 10th. I will share the slide with the feng shui graph about the directions and stuff. So let's move. Oh, that's when I'm magical. That's what I said. That was when the northern wave hit, and there was 1,000 the rainbows. As I talk about, earth is a primary womb, sky is her inseminator, through the rain as semen. Spring reveals her inner waters. Living beings, plants, animals, human emerge from their gestation deep within her womb and return to it in a death to be born again. I brought some profound, like when we talk about from my travels, I just thought about it, where exactly I would experience this magical, looking into the future, because we are talking about next 20 years. We are talking about this grand vision. And I think one of the examples, when I was at the Expo 2020 in Dubai, and then that was the opening of the Museum of the Future. And being at the Museum of the Future, I want to just bring this example about calligraphy, that this is the most unique architecturally achieved building, I think, in the world. Okay, the bringing the ancestral chi is in the calligraphy. That is a very profound poetry and prayers. And when you are inside and light feeds through inside out, is a continuous, you are walking in the prayer without not even knowing it. And that's infinite. As long as there's light, you are in prayer. This is already talked about external, internal. I'll just push forward. I'm gonna get some. Another aspect when I talked about how many of you heard of Anish Kapoor? Anish Kapoor, is raised in India. He's a kind of world now. Like those. Have you seen the Bean in Chicago? The big. So he's an artist of this. So
Okay.
I was just when I was in Florence. There was his art exhibit. Can you imagine in the most exotic palace in the Republic Square, in the kind of in the arts of Italian kind of classics. You have this very enormous, grand, setups, and that's his way of expression. And before my first talk that I did on Zoom, I says like, I have to look at his chart. I have to look at his chart. I have to look at his chart. So I create the chart, and guess what? There's a wood horse, double rabbit, and I bet that was a dragon hour, because when I looked at this, at his life chart, it's really made a sense, because about immigration, about being very rebellious and very intuitive. So this was one of the pieces. This is actually a moving block. This block was so slowly moving. When I got there, I was like, "It's nothing happens." Why is it? And this is like 5 tons of wax, and it goes through this, and the wax is overflowing, and the art is continuously changing. So this type of vision is the rabbit, is intuitive, because he wants to kind of, as a dragon horse, he wants to give the energetical punch. It takes you in the face. Punches you. Like, think about it, right? But then the rabbit calls it the mystic, or qualities of spirituality, or gut feeling, or think twice. All the qualities. It's absolutely imprinted for me to bring this as an example. If you hear about Anish Kapoor, highly recommend, just to kind of, instigate. He was also the one who created color black that absorbs 99% of the color. And when I was standing in its exhibit in front of this black hole, it was because of, doing the meditations, which that you really get almost expansively sucked in, but in a good way. Mm-hmm. It was not like going into shadows, because when you don't have your own shadows, there's no negativity. There's no energy that would be affecting you. Mm. So yeah, Anish Kapoor that's some of his work. Are we ready to talk about 12 animals? Yes. Quickly. Any questions so far? I'm going to just grab some water. Everybody had the chart, right? Mm-hmm. Do you want some water, Aelita? I have some water. Okay. Thank you. Just bring it on top. Yeah. That's actually my glass. I left the area.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh.
No. Sorry.
So speaking of the 12 animals, there's more details. You can freely, my website has a link, and my last Zoom call gave a very, quick rundown by each of the animals. You could probably add that information to today's maybe experience. Feel free, it's free, so take advantage of it. The common structure, you've known already the sequence of 12, right? Do I need to repeat that? No. The hour is always, if you find person's hour, if you're sometimes curious about anybody, find the answer in their birth hour. Okay? Is the hour is really going to show who they are at heart. It's not about good or bad. It's just to connect, understand them better. And like the very common, right? That maybe for the, because we do have a few new people. I will just to give you some of the basics of the 12 animals. So rats are typically analytical, okay? When they charge, charming, diligent, perseverant, methodical, social, fragile, observant. Rats are capable and fun-loving. When depleted, complaining, nervous, nitpicking, annoyingly analytical, stingy, secretive, overly concentrated, like one and selfish. Then we have ox, conscientious. When it's charged, calm, dignified, sincere, tenacious, uncompromising, dependable, quiet, independent. When depleted, insensitive, ruthless, close, humorless, sullen, fearful of change, aloof and dull. Then we have tiger next is daring. Charge is courageous, strong, lucky, honest, imaginative, competitive, dedicated. When depleted, restless, impulsive, or rebellious, indecisive. Indecisiveness is one of the biggest kind of weakness of the tiger when it's depleted. Then we have rabbit after, which is when it's charged, gentle, quiet, peace-loving, true homemaker, domestic, social. When depleted, gossipy, snobby, superficial, paranoid, opportunistic, deceptive, conservative, stubborn, lazy, right? Dragons, powerful, charged, strong, charismatic, lucky, ambitious, outgoing, consistent, confident, assertive, grand, depleted, stubborn, insensitive, aloof, dramatic, sarcastic. Well, maybe I was a little more sarcastic today. So after dragon is the year of a snake. That's the mystical or hour of snake. The same sequence how the 12 years would go is also how the hour would follow the same way. So deeply reflective, meditative, wise, inventive, intelligent, calm, slow, evasive, discreet. But when depleted is paranoid, helpless, deceptive, bitter when unsuccessful, possibly suicidal or lazy. Right? Just watch out the snakes. Horses, typically describes as energetic. When it's charged, social, honest, magnetic, strong, consistent, independent, funny, outdoorsy. When depleted, restless, wild, accident-prone, stubborn, hot-tempered, thoughtless, violent. But this year is really fantastic year for horses. Goats, aesthetics, right? Charge, easygoing, artistic, visually musical, cooperative, encouraging, generous. When depleted, fussy, worrisome, anxious, nervous, fearful of confrontation. That's very, very common. Monkeys, imaginative, charged, curious, investigative, funny, adaptable, imitative. Depleted is manipulative, deceptive, nervous, compulsive, anxious, and possibly criminal. Always creates a trouble before trouble. Can't you tell? I'm a monkey here. I talked about all the... So when I look at a monkey and tiger, so I'm a tiger hour. So when I talk about tiger, just like presenting, I'm tiger. When I'm inviting and creating events, I'm a monkey. So I think that's as long as we understand our role and at what point we're playing. Roosters, if we have any roosters here, analytical by big time. So charged, critical, intelligent, confident, alert, social, dignified, financially adept. When depleted is volatile, rude, proud, argumentative. Last year, for those who had the roosters in your chart, if you did argue, if you really kind of did not, everything was a number game, but not a sensation of like how you feel about a thing, that would be your disadvantage, okay? What else? What else I miss?
Dog.
and pig.
Okay, the last two, right?
Well, she said the
Oh,
goat.
she
said,
said,
Yeah. So monkey. So dog, roosters, I said. Dog, loyal, like faithful. When it's charged, loyal, caring, protective, direct, helpful, intuitive, insightful, private. When depleted, stubborn, argumentative, spiteful, vain, rigid, frozen with anxiety, stingy, and excessively critical. And pigs are honest. So more pigs because like in the world, that would be really fantastic. So charged, plain speaking, caring, sensuous, compromising, eloquent, tolerant, humanitarian, reliable, unselfish, funny, hardworking, lucky, and gregarious. When depleted, self-indulgent, secretive, long-suffering, gullible, and self-destructive. So there's more to it. These are just like really like an extract. And one of the books I usually, Mary will share, there's more to your characters. So the chart, your the in the red, that is something you're born with and you die with. And how you can benefit from any chart reading when you have your natal chart done, don't focus on your outer rings. Focus on your natal capacity. Recognize who you are. Meet yourself at that point. Don't change yourself. Accept yourself. And also reveal to your partners, to your friends, to your family, because we get, at the time as we grow up, right, we get imprinted by the outside influence, by the country, by the family, by the language, by the tradition. And you sometimes, because if that was not really in compliance with yourself, you have to kind of, relearn or re-recognize yourself, okay? Just as long as you understand, the hour for you is your ultimate destiny, okay? Hour.
So I think I've asked you this before, but when you look at like the year, like your year, should you be going by your hour or your day, or should you be going by your year?
Again, as long as understand, so year is how you enter the unknown place. Let's say you were having a party and you don't know anybody. You're going to walk in like a dragon. Hi, everyone. I'm Caitlin, right? or you pass out. I didn't mean it.
That too.
So
you should know what they are for all of them.
Yeah. So this association, this your association with the dragon, if that's what position it holds. This is where I can help you to navigate. You understand you better, your capacity. Sometimes say, hey, Aelita, I'm feeling, so use the courageous dragon and power this year, if that's what you need, okay? It's powerful, especially in a combination if you are in Trinity with monkey, if you have a monkey, rat character, or snake, and also pigs. Pigs are greatly benefit this year with the energy of the dragon. There's another thing is like horses. Horses are even better than the dragons. Dragons are celestial. They are flamboyant. They're flying. They never really land, right? But the horses are so kind of present that energy of the dragon, those are earthly dragons. They are actually doers. So if you have a horse chi or horse sign on your chart, take advantage of it. Symbol of emperor. The power of the dragon. So I'm going to go through the 12 animals and then I can leave for all the... Is that sounds good? Mm-hmm. Does everybody need get the munchings or something? Or shall we just finish it? Okay. So this is what I'm talking about, capacity and capability. Oh, this is a good presentation. I haven't looked at since the February since January when I did the presentation. That's why. So I'm glad I did. So this is when we talk about the Trinity. Okay, so the rat, the dragon, and the monkey. So the dragon's a part of the Trinity, and it uses the first triangle of affinity, that the rat and dragon is performance, progress-oriented, initiators, innovators, self-starters, dynamic, ambitious, melting pot of ideas, common way of doing things, common methods of thinking. Okay? These are all amazing qualities that you have. Either you have a combination in your chart, or maybe you have your partners. Take advantage. This is great. So sometimes if you think, oh, I have a dog year, oh, I don't know, then use the qualities that maybe your partner has. Okay? One of the ways in Feng Shui how we make adjustments, for example, right this year, the friend of the dragon is rooster, right? Just like kind of there's a kind of sequences when we create the lines. By the way, I could give you something that I don't give anybody. But if you start connecting like horse and goat, and then snake and monkey, and the rooster and dragon, and then rabbit and dog, and the pig and tiger, ox and rat. These are the secrets of relationships. These are the combinations that are like secret lovers. So you're always going to have a good compliance with it. And this is how in the chart. So this will start like rat, ox, just make these lines. Anything in opposition like dog, dragon, it's a diametrics. Okay, this is why we, like a lot of, a lot of the currently, media would say, not good year for the dog, da-da-da-da-da. Don't believe what they say because it's still, energy is energy. You can still utilize it to the great extent, okay? And your chart is usually a component of the, it's a synthesis of the several different elements and several different animals. So then we have these triangles, right? And let's say those who do have a dog, or your door is in the west, for example, if your main door is in the west, in your house, you can have the symbology that relates to the rooster. And why is that? Because the secret lover of the dragon is a rooster. And the way to distract the dragon before it attacks the dog is let him play with the rooster. Simple. Okay? That's the feng shui adjustment that you can do in a very simple way. Okay? What would you do in a west door? Like, let's say that would be, creating some beauty. It would not be just putting the rooster out there, right? But what's the rooster's association is? Kind of make sure your bell is working, your ring bell. Ding, 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 ding. Okay? When that is not working, you're not activating rooster because it's a doorbell. So these are just a simple things, or something that is kind of like stands out, or people do talk about it. That's a good thing, right? If your house front is elaborately decorated, or you follow the seasonal changes, this is fantastic. It's a great adjustment, just right there. Very simple. Any questions so far? So what I wrote about dogs, the circle of conflict, right? The dragon is that's why it's an opposition. East is opposite to west. Spring breath is, so dog's chi, the energy of the dog, I would say, stay under the radar. Kind of, take it easy this year. It's not about kind of now I'm going in a war with the dragon, right? You just, it's a puppy time. It's a time to be at the fireplace and just, whatever. Take it easy. Take your time. Reconnect to your relationships. Reconnect to your friends. It's not about, it's really like reconnecting the inner relationship, because those inner relationships will be really, really profoundly opportunistic next year. Year of a snake. Year of a snake is about yin, right? Yin energy. X-ray. Now you examine everybody. So as a dog, you take advantage of the time of who can I really trust? Who is really has my back? Okay. So be smart if you have a dog quality. For dogs is also why there's conflict, because dogs don't believe that it's basically whatever dragon says, it's unrealistic to them. Okay, they're usually a very good in the second position. If you have how many dogs are there? Okay.
Do you mean our main dog or?
Oh no, just like anything in a dog. Okay, so this is for you. Is like really to testing is like your way of saying things like, can I really do this? Can I really do this? Can I really do this? That's the dog. That's like a weak dog. It's like a dragon is flamboyant, and it's like, I don't care. I dare doing it. It's like when Emperor goes shopping, he just says, "Oh, I like that, and I like that," and it's just what it goes. It comes back to the court and says like, "Oh, it's already there." You never even pull the money out. It just manifests. That's why the power to manifest is associated what is the dragon as a ruler does. Where the dog is like, can I really do this? Because dog has to pay for it. Dog has to sniff things out. Dog has to kind of investigate and get things. So there's different ways of looking at the characters. So the rat is definitely, as I said, in a trinity. This year is amazing. Okay. Remember, the rat is the one that sits. The image was it sits in between the dragon's ears and tells where to go, where to fly, right? So the information that the rats and analytics the rats provide can take you really, really far if you did your homework. If you are in a full capacity and you have a chance to really manifest, like, purge, get clear with your agenda and really, present. If you're opening the business, etc., this is a great year to announcing it. If some companies go public, fantastic. That's the way of doing it. Okay. As I said, this presentation will be available to you as a group, so you can read more. There's more information to it. So I just want to leave the time for questions, answers, and the chart reading and the gifts. Okay. Ox. The main part after you read whatever that's on it is the ox is stubborn. Ox is very hardworking. Ox is just persistent. Always takes just plows the field straight line. And for ox, it's really important to understand that this year, if you're going against of any sort of if there is the opposition or coming into the wall, right? Plus the ox. No point to waste your chi. No point to waste your energy to just going down the wall, like going through, because either you go through the wall, the brick wall, or you do nothing. Is the same result. It's up to you if you understand that the concept. Like, can I do nothing, or shall I just still powder to go through the forcefully? It's not necessary. If you have other animals in your chart, and you can use maybe your inner element, or use your, assisting like a group element that will be, you can maybe go around the big block, find the venues, or work through somebody else. Okay, so you don't need to prove it. It's not necessary. It will be interesting. Election is going to be interesting this year because the U.S. is the birth year based on the Constitution, based on fire monkey, and monkey and the year of a dragon definitely holds the power, and it's also in the time of the elections will be in the month of the pig, so pigs are go big or go home. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be a big shift. So I would recommend don't engage emotionally. Yeah, go refer things that I just mentioned earlier today, because we want to be collective network. We don't want to deviate ourselves. Whoever you're voting for, unless you are president, unless here is a president who's going to be taking charge. That's a different story, right? But as a community, think big and plan things that are not related to this particular year, but it's related to the next 3, 5, 10, 20. Okay? Clear about oxes? I got you. Tigers, remember, tigers have stripes. This is another undecisiveness, and you already had. So tigers would be, it was very important last year to kind of have its spiritual development, spiritual kind of growth in it. And this year, it's okay to kind of, be in the state, have these two faces, be public figure and your inner self. It's not expected for tigers to rule or, you can take it easy. Take it easy. What it says, tigers may be inclined to take new ventures, challenges with the wood element, encouraging them to be adventurous. Yeah, explore. So for fun. Go places, travel. It's like, retreats. Because you do spiritually awakening, go on your journeys. And that's really powerful. Because tigers in deep sense it's a very strong spiritual being first. Remember a couple of years ago, you can also go back to my recording on a year of a tiger. I gave at the beginning a lot of information about a tiger chi. That could be very useful if you do have a tiger in your chart. So the rabbits we talked about earlier, right? Self-reflective, intuitive. That intuition was preparing you for your year of dragon, purging, releasing, letting it happen. That was most important part. You needed to kind of have no, what's it called, English package? Like, nothing is really you. You're not dragging behind you. Yeah, baggage. Okay, baggage. It's close enough, right? The dragon itself. So, if you are born in a year of a dragon, they says, 2 dragons in your birth year. Not necessarily. Again, for dragons, it has to be as long as you're leading and doing things on behalf, like serving others, right? So if your purpose is at being at service, that becomes extremely powerful. Okay. Creativity, making favorable time for artistic. Yes, artists this year, because we are a wood dragon, and the wood element is all about to renew the arts, the inspirations. It could be a really powerful year for any artist or any inspirational work. Like creativity is going to be, it could be really quirky ways of presenting fashion, for example. And I just came across, I got something from my daughter in England, and that was I don't know if you have had, but Aviana, other dragon, she has hundreds of the stuffed animals, and so that's quite a endeavor. When we were flying back to Europe, we had at the beginning, I had the big tiger packed in a backpack, and during the flight, it came out of the backpack, and the tiger head was as big as ours, right in between. So the stuffed animals are everywhere. And speaking of creativity, I got this. There's the new kind of the fashion, kind of the venue that's kind of works with her. Thinks that they have clothing like sweatshirts or T-shirts, and then the stuffed animals are sewn to it, like on a shoulder, on the side, or in a part. It's a part of the clothing. So anyway, that's the creativity part. Something new that I haven't seen it anywhere, and I thought it's like, that's definitely for Aviana. She was gonna have her own sweatshirt thing. Snakes. So snakes are, next year is the year of a snake. Okay, and remember, the snake and dragon has a very sensual connection. It's like a Romeo and Juliet. Okay, that's the romantic aspect of things. Remember, if the lights go out, dragons are happy, snakes are happy. They know what they're doing. Snakes maybe find themselves drawn to the new ventures or projects that allow them to express their creativity, explore uncharted territories, right? And my husband is snake, and I just really kind of resonating with that. Like right now, what we have in Italy, or what we're developing projects in Latvia, that's a larger project. It's kind of amazes to me that where it takes us, or if you do have a snake quality, and if you did your homework last year during the year of a rabbit, right? That's the purging and clearing and understanding your kind of inner calling. Then this year and the next year is absolutely like countless lists of 24 months. Your year has that like steam train. Chugga, 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 that you cannot just stop. It's just like, it's going to go 24 months, okay? So take advantage of that. Horses here? Any horses? Yay! So you are earthly dragons. So I want to share. You should share. Share. Please. Share how this came about. Come on. Yeah. Come and say it now. It's a couple weeks ago, right? What was it? No, that was the 20th. No, 19th. I saw you on the 18th? 18th? No, 19th.
19.
So I come and tell your story.
She came to my house and I was painting, but it was nowhere near done. And she said, I like that painting. And she convinced me that I should do this for her, and I definitely think that
I
she should have it.
convinced them?
You
No.
were very, like the way that you were so confident about that you want this painting. I've never had anybody, I paint, I'm a mother, I'm very busy, I don't have time. That's why I do oil painting, because I can go very, very slow. But here I kind of rushed, but I was also very happy because this felt like, it was like I'm doing it for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually great.
The horse.
Yeah.
Horse is, imaginative, energetical, brings things to fruition like
And
magic.
it's kind of my passion, and I love it. It's
Yeah,
not my
so-
job.
Beautiful. I've been admiring it. It's like
Yeah.
absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
Kuan
Denise,
Yin.
What is this? I did it now.
Yeah, when I saw it, I just this thought it was instantly gave me this is my, I think it's almost like a talismanic for me that I want to take with me to Florence. And then it was like this, the dragon in the water, and it comes to the purification, the big change, and the Kuan Yin as the divine, shines the light. I think there's so many, I think, the nuances that...
I think it's when you said it, your presence and your voice, I just that's right, this is your painting. I'm fine doing it.
So you can manifest practically anything this year by achieving. So I'm inspiring because you only need the imagining. You only need the sense of why, And I think that this is where energetic experience was its service to others. It was the inspirational. It was the very mutual. It was in that moment. Right, it was not paint that. No, it was just, it spoke, it was manifesting, it was energetics. There's so many deeper correlation to it where we are, initiating, right? So I'm so grateful. So, goats. The goats are very artistic, right? Goats was a good year last year, I hope. But if you got exhausted, then this year there's one kind of area that goats are not flexible enough. Okay, they're like a mini oxes, so kind of. Okay, and then sometimes, and it's all about artistry and beauty and comfort and peacemaking and name it. But what's the weakness for the goats this year is not a flexible back, okay? And that lack of flexibility is not to, you become like kind of food to the dragon, rather than, you victimized. But you're not victimized by dragon, you're self-victimizing it. Yourself, kind of almost like you wanted to change, but it's like, but I've been doing this all this time the same way. It's almost like a mini ox, going same path. Do I really need to change? It's like, what new can this bring? The contemplating in a wrong direction, and then you add, you add another animal does anybody have the ox and goat in the chart?
Oh, no, not all.
Just goats? A lot of goats? Okay. So just think twice, but energetically just really, really add the aspect of the vision and use your other animals in the chart. Imagine. Maybe this year you don't want to look that you are a goat. Imagine that you're somebody else. Or to think about, do you really need to do that? If you don't want to change, you're not flexible enough, maybe just a step away from it. Maybe step away or reposition to the event. As I said, it's very subjective, individual event, like when we're talking about your chart. So in general terms. Goats may find themselves in situations where their financial acumen and practical approach contributes to their overall prosperity during this period. That's true, because the manifestation is available only if you are flexible. Okay? Imagine flexibility. Don't be stubborn. Monkeys, yay! Monkeys have a profound year as well. This is because of the Trinity with the dragon rat, monkey. Monkey is the one who adapts and adds the kind of pivots the things a little bit. Ambition. If you have ambitious ideas and things, those are also dragon will facilitate and brings that. But you need to initiate. If you deplete it, none of this will matter. If your characteristics are depleted, period. Okay? So just work on it. Use the time until the mid-April to really reset yourself. Really kind of, these rainy days, I think there could be done, I think the organizers and purgers will be like the busiest people ever, right? So release, allow the energy, something new will replace it, or the same thing in a better form is going to replace. Create the space, create that simplicity, the space, maybe, the new books. That's important. Monkeys would love to explore, travel, go places, do something you've never done before. Roosters. Career opportunities, right? So last year, remember the roosters were even diametrics with the rabbit. If the roosters were convinced that only the number game was working, okay, and they were not sensing, like, let's say, how many roosters are here and maybe starting the new business? Anyone? So it's just going to bring you an example. If the last year the rooster was saying, like, okay, if I'm starting my business and I'm really passionate and feeling it's going to work. I love what I do. And I'm going to manifest. I'm going to explore and get it done. And I'm not calculating like, okay, my income and outcome is X, Y, and Z. It's not last year was not for rooster a number game. It was the feeling. Everything about the feeling. My gut feelings tells me I should go there, north, south, west, whatever. But this was the detail, the orientation, paying attention to the details was not necessary. Everything was about for roosters. How do I feel? How do I feel about this? And now, because you have done your homework from the last year, this is a beautiful way of now I know what I feel, now I can actually put the numbers together, and you can announce yourself and be loud and proud and print your books and make your events and invite people and brag about it, social media, and anything. So this is also where certain industries will succeed, success of the, if you are in marketing, if you are in interior design and marketing, but more dictating the style or dictating the new trends. It's very opportunistic to it. Dogs, exploring, but kind of, it's a self-cultivation for dogs. It's like I would go on a retreat to Arizona, to Sedona, and do, those type of things. Create a relationship that more in an intimate setting, holding, reconnecting to your group of friends or known ones or loved ones, etc. But this is you are creating alliances, okay? That's something that will, I'm not rushing for dogs towards the end of the year, more after the August. It's almost that's when you could start taking a really, it's can start barking a little bit. It's okay. I think Biden has a dog in his yard, so might not be the best for him. Pigs. Pigs go big or go home. Pigs are really powerful this year. You are alchemists. You have to put all the energy that you have and fulfill. You have given 11 months of time, 12 months of time to do what you can. Be loud, proud, go, explore, connect, be the alchemists, be protectors, be the ones who bring the charm, who bring the hardworking etiquette to it, because the energy of the dragon, it's going to be so inspirational. Can you imagine when there's this large event like the Fresh Intuition and the Aelita is here, right? It's like yes, you're giving the spiciness to it. You cannot say no, and you integrate, and then you can say, when we're going to do it again. That's the pig's approach. We want to repeat this. You want to, why don't we do it again? That's why we're doing it again, March 10th, right? And this is just a very, very quick in regards of the feng shui and what is the, because we have a year of a 3. So this is like whoever is born in a year of a dragon, like this year, the feng shui number is identical for female or male, okay? They belong to the East group. And if we do practice, those who have practiced salt cures with me in the past, those would be placed in the West primarily, and we're only using the one. No more 2 salt cures because we are in a new period 9. And the star 7, that's with 2 and 7, those stars right now has a completely different, not completely different, but there's a different influence in a positive way. And the star 8 is now becoming declining. So we kind of really finished the 20-year cycle just last year, and we're starting the new era. And that is for great feminine in general. The auspicious is for prosperity, auspicious the north and the south this year. So you can sometimes look at, what main door, if your sunrise, or not sunrise, but midday sun that's what your main door. You can consider and refresh and clear this up. Why main door? This is your connection to external opportunities. It's very important to just bring that fresh chi, fresh energy, kind of like resetting it the way you like it. That is not only that the bell works, but it's also kind of something pretty that you feel like welcome home yourself. That could be a little bit more dramatic. If you do energetically, the parties or any events really purge. Not purge, but polish up. Bring some kind of extra, like today's the hostess. I mean, really, you set it up such a beautiful event. All of us, right? As a collectively, this is just we celebrating. So try this year. Use the year of a dragon to celebrate. And the pig quality is like alchemist. It's a beautiful way to integrate, from different levels, different events. Doesn't have to be always very rigid. So it's really a party year for the pigs. So take advantage of it. Then the weakest point is the West, but it's also relatively speaking weak. Okay. If you do plan the salt cure, but if you don't do the salt cure, now I'm just going to give you, salt cure is more like a training tool for you to create awareness. So when we initiate the certain talismans or certain, let's say, salt cure itself in a house, is more like a reminding point. Okay? With the time, I personally don't do salt cures anymore. Just to be honest. Because I have my awareness, I have my kind of my spiritual, my energetical connection to that direction, and I'm maintaining it. The ones who are renew, when sometimes we move into the new house, and we sometimes kind of disorienting ourselves in the space, that's a very helpful tool, also kind of energetical boost. Okay? So it's there's no wrong or right way of doing it, just having that opportunity.
What is a salt cure?
Salt cure is the symbology, right? When you have a clear jar, you take the metal coin, the silver coin that represents 1, or yang qi on the very bottom. Then you take the salt that is like sea salt. You pour the sea salt. Then you take 6 copper pennies put it in a circle. Okay, 1 and 6. There's symbology within already that in feng shui. Then you have water, and as you have a prayer, you connect to the divine. You imprint the water with your intention. Protect this house. And as you pour the water onto the jar, that gives you this you're basically initiating you initiating your wish to be protected, to be supported, to be neutralized from the direction of the west. Okay, so it's a symbology as a reminding tool. Okay, if you missed your salt cures, you don't know. So just have that. Just have it's your intent. Have an incense, have a prayer, have a talisman, have something. I love this quiz. I hope I can make it to Felton tomorrow. It's me and Aviana. And the big nose. Teaching her to. I really I've missed ocean. I do miss my hikes. I was wishing that there wouldn't be rain, that I can do my hike in the morning in Los Gatos. I love the Mabel Felton, and I'm glad I went to Hakona today, even it was raining. The magnolia is just magnificent. My dragon magnolia was just kind of meeting me right at the point, and I really hope that I will be able to set up for maybe a group again for cherry blossom viewing, and maybe the lucky winners as my donation.
When is that?
It's hopefully, well, right now the season is a little bit behind, and those. My idea is, if you like to go, I would have 10 tickets to purchase, and if you like to support me more with the Little Monks project, then that's going to be a gift for going to Hakone. So that's the part of the Hakone. That's the 3. I think we are the dragon, whatever, upper world tiger. Just remember that. And that's my other teacher. And this is the supporting Little Monks. And this is what we did. And I don't know if this is going to play, but if it plays, that's how it's all started. And I do have another video for it that's after receiving the first $3,000. And it's a very harsh environment, and that's when they reached out to me through Sanjay. That's they registering and showing the project, how it's going to be, how they're progressing, and every week or every other week I'm receiving, and I'll be sending those. And so that's explaining it more. Yeah. So it's real. All I want to say, the dragons are real. We are magical as a group together, and I'm very, very grateful to everyone for being here, to learning, to sharing, to being open to the looking at yourselves, looking at your opportunities. From the Chinese astrology or metaphysics side point of view, as a collectively how we support each other. That's my biggest goal is let's stay together, let's stay united, let's support each other, meet each other, self-accepting at every point and every time in our space in life. So thank you.